Evening, folks. Thanks for joining once again to my little tobacco show. Hopefully this time I'm starting without another awkward bit of silence. Evening, folks. Hope you guys' week is going okay. It is cold as hell here right now. Hopefully this time I'm starting without another. I actually couldn't make it to work this morning. Bit of silence. I had to defrost the combination lock on the gate to get out of my property. Once I did that, I couldn't make it up the icy hill on the it is cold as on the highway to work. So I turned around, came home, worked from home today. Joy. I actually couldn't make it to work this morning. Would have rather had played video games, but you know, work. Lock on the gate to get out of my property. Mute my YouTube. I bet I'm like double broadcasting. Yep. Hey Jen, how you doing? Well, there, that's fixed. Damn it. All right. Well, I tried to get the chat to show up here in this blank spot beside the window, beside the broadcast, and I can't get window capture or browser source or any of that crap to work for me yet. I'll keep trying. So I know a couple people had requested that. Nice. That's what I've been doing on and off. I actually didn't get much of anything done for the show today because I've been working on stuff, but thought we'd do a fun little simple tobacco profile, do it both in MxtFxtNxt and then do it also in Flavora concentrates, oddly enough. Flavora. Yeah, probably at some point, Jen, I will. I just need to. Hey, Folk Art, thanks, man. I just need to get time to do it. So I got the sticks mix for the Noted show a while back and hadn't really got around to doing much with them. And I've kind of had the, I don't know, yearning today for a net. So, we'll do a little net recipe, and figured why not do it in artificial tobaccos too, since most of you are probably going to have my favorite Flavoras and probably your favorite Flavoras as well. They made you, Jen, I wanted to love the sticks mix, but I couldn't vape them. They make me insta-wheeze. They do that with a lot of people. Nets do. I have a friend, they just make him congested. Yep. Jeremy, that's Connecticut Shade is a really good one. I love how complex it is. I don't know. There's a lot of JJ. I don't know. There's a lot of people that just really can't stomach artificial tobacco flavorings at all, and especially the old classics. They can't. I can't. Yeah, Artibacco, artificial tobacco, and used to, like a couple of years ago, we used to refer to Artibaccos as the cat piss aroma of artificial tobacco, Artibaccos, and it's kind of a catch term from the people on the net threads at ECF back in the day. Anyway, so I wished I could have figured out this browser dealio. A joke RY4 out of FLV. Well, that would be a pretty good joke because they don't really have a caramel. I know they have a caramel, but it's more like caramel tones with brown sugar notes, I guess. I mean, as a flavoring, it's not bad, but it's not really a caramel to me. Let's see. Let's go. Boom. New recipe. Boom. All right, awkward hooks. Let's see these two awkward hooks are one random name from all the flavors, and babyish crises is the other one. How about awkward crises and I don't know, crises. You know, I've been messing around on and off, Jeremy, with milk and honey and tobaccos, and I've come up with some interesting things, but not necessarily really good things. All right, so for the sticks mix, we're gonna go, man, I hope Scott has these, there he does, these, excuse me, sticks mix in here, A+ blend and aged barley. And I think we're gonna go with, let's go with that easy 3% aged barley and 4% of the A+ blend. Let me check if I remember this correctly. Yep, those are good percentages to start. And how about let's do a maple net, just a simple maple net using Flavor Art maple syrup. And folk art, I am using Windows 10. I'm not using the Edge browser. I'm using Chrome and Firefox, but Chrome for all the Google stuff. All right, so let's go with Flavora cured, of course. And let's try 1. Let's go 1.5 of that. Let's go red burley. And let's go 2% of that. And let's go maple syrup. Flavor Art maple syrup. Let's go 1% of that. And I don't know, do we want vanilla with maple? Do we want fake butterscotch cream, aka butterscotch ripple. Do we want vanilla pudding? Maple vanilla pudding tobacco? Nah. How about maybe we'll throw just some regular caramel in there. Yeah, I think we'll do that just for the heck of it. So let's go plus caramel. And let's go 0.5 Capella caramel. Maple art. And let's go 1 and FA walnut. You know what, man? I almost got FA walnut out before I started this stream up, just because I thought that would, like, walnut maple tobacco would be interesting, but I didn't. All right. So this is actually, believe it or not, how I'll start a tobacco recipe. Like if it's something I want to get out or like get working on, I won't necessarily do an artificial versus net version of it, but I'll figure out 3 or 4 different ways where I could tackle a profile, and I'll just mix 3 or 4 iterations of it right off the bat and then try them tomorrow. Maple and pecan would be good, but if you're doing maple and pecan, just use buttered pecan because it's got those nice mapley notes. Milk chocolate with Steve Maddox milk chocolate with butterscotch and maple. That would be good, man. That would be real good. Anyway, we got a recipe to try. I didn't do another Mix It, Fix It, or Nix It except last week, right after the show. I did mix up ID10T's Grape Cigarillo Delio at the Grape Escape. So we're going to try that here in a little bit. And hold on a minute. Let me expose my mixing apparatus. One of these days I'll set up another camera here, and you can see the mess that is my desk. I might even clean it up. Who knows? We'll see about that. All right, so let's go the yummy salts. I don't know how you guys do it, but I hate, now that I've just went all the way over with scales, I really hate trying to do syringes to even get nicotine out. So I just do these dropper bottles for nicotine. And let's go mix on this and mix on this. And these are both cheaty recipes. They're I can't see them possibly being bad because all those ingredients are good, and maple's a note that would go well with tobaccos. But we'll see. Oh, folk art, man, I actually have that. I have not tried it yet. Yeah, same with my 10. It's like terrible. Yeah. I want to get some more Carolina extract. I've got about that much salts left, and one of the reasons I like salts is, man, this thing has been on my desk for no refrigeration for probably, like, well, not it. I filled up 2 from the little plastic bottle it came in, and they've both been sitting on my desk with no refrigeration and no freezing, and it's like 7 months old. It's starting to get a tiny bit more color, but salts come with a good bit of color. And man, it's still tasteless and wonderful. So I want to get some more Carolina extract because it is as good as salts. I guess it'll depend on how cheap I feel next week or week after when I go to order them. So, got that in. Let's go with got the Sticks mix, and the only thing that I don't like about, and I don't know if he's changed the bottling yet, the only thing I don't like about these is he's got these glossy labels, and then the different types are handwritten on, and I don't know if that was special to get them out the door to me or how they come, because I've never actually bought any, but they wipe off too easy, and I guess I could have taped them. I saw that and knew they were going to be, but didn't. So let's go. I'm only making 20 mils of both of these. I got too much other stuff to vape through, and I typically do 30 mil testers because I feel like 30 mil is a little bit more accurate to me when I go by weight, as opposed to trying to mix like a 10 mil or something. And all right, so 0.6. And this is the A+ blend. Tear the scale. And we'll go with 0.8 of it. Now let's go with the let me get the What did I do with my Flora tobaccos? Man, I just had those out earlier today. Oh joy. We might just have to. Ooh. There it is, red barley and cured. Red barley will do 0.4. And cured will do 0.3. And then 0.2 of maple syrup in each. And then 0.1 of caramel in each. And that's kind of why I do like a 10. I mean 20 or 30, because if I was doing a 10, that would be like 0.05. And yeah, that's pretty much less than a drop, and 2 drops is more. So I mean, I'm still going to have that problem here, but I can get a lot closer. There it is, 0.09, close enough for me. All right. Now the really awkward part, to get dilutants in on camera without flooding my desk. Let's go with PG. I just put my PG and VG in these guys. They're it's handy enough and easy enough to control for me. Unless I'm using the plastic Bostons, like the 120s with the twist tops on them, I'll just pour VG straight out of a gallon into those. It's probably how I run so many scales. All right. Yeah, I don't put my nick in them. I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure it would be fine. I'm sure. I don't know why, man. Like, I transferred over to glass because I'm an elitist twat, I guess. I don't know. Can't be having my nicotine in plastic like a peasant. And here we go. VG. I'm using these little narrow mouth bottles because I'm trying to use all of them up, and I hate putting VG in them. That's what you get for playing with bomb arrows, Shindo. You should be paying full attention to this show, not messing around with some bomb arrows. All right. Can't believe it. I'm going to get VG in both of these without filling the neck up and have it flow over the bottle. That's amazing. Oh, I almost spoke too soon. But that works. Do the long pour, right? Like a real bartender. Now let me get some kind of little label on these before I forget which is which. Interestingly enough, I think the Flavora one's a little bit darker. It actually mixed a little better and quicker too. Excuse me. And I just had a pin somewhere. Let me turn the light up in here a little bit, folks. Much better. All right. So I called one Maple Sticks. And called the other one Maple Art. And we can call this show Maple Story, or is there already a Maple Story? Isn't that a video game of some kind? Somewhere? Somehow? Hey Russ, man, how you doing? How's things up there in Kanukistan? No, I was looking and I looked up to the ceiling. I have LED light bulbs in that ceiling fan up there, and I have a light switch dimmer, and they're dimmable LED light bulbs, but once I set it, they keep getting dimmer and dimmer, and I was having a hard time seeing. I'm like, man, did I all of a sudden get older, or is it getting darker in here? And guess what? Both. And yes, there could have been a pin on my ceiling. Who knows? Who knows? Let's turn this scale off and cover it before I spill something on it and ruin it. And then we'll shake these. I mean, I can shake them up here on camera, or, you know, inconspicuously shake them down here. Can I play Maple Story with my $800 1070? I don't know. Can I play it with my my 1080? Can I play Undertale with my 1080? I need to play some video games, man. Here lately, things have been getting in the way. All right, I'm going to let them sit for a second, and then we're going to talk about these two things, man. I know some of you might not squonk, but last year this thing came out, and it's heavy and bulky, but it is a squonker. It did go up to 100 watts, and it does take two 18650s. It wasn't produced very long. It's the G-Box 100. But man, I have beat the crap out of this thing for a year. I mean, daily carried this thing for a year. And it's worse for the wear, but you know what, man? It comes on. It doesn't leak till the Kanger style bottles bust. And it does, well, the Hadley leaks bad, but it's a Hadley. But man, I mean, for any squonker, that's pretty damn good, man. Oh wow, that's a lot of money for a 1080. And Russ, things are great down here in the creek. And then this is their new version of this. This is the G-Box. It's the G-Box 200. I mean, it's basically the same thing. They did a different display. The buttons are different. These are metal. These are plastic. This goes up to 200 watts. They're both dual 18650s. They both have these really, really crappy Kanger style bottles. But you know what, man? They're less than $1 each if you buy a dozen at a time. And you're going to need a dozen. But for any squonker to daily carry and beat the crap out of for a year and have zero issues with it, that's quite impressive. This one is slightly lighter. You know what? I can measure that. I've been curious. I have a scale. We have the technology. Let's measure this. All right, so the old one with double batteries and about a third of a tank of juice, third of a bottle of juice, is 343 grams, 0.01. And the new one is 320, so it's 20 grams lighter. This one, they both have about, interestingly enough, about the same juice. This one's got an Entheon on it. So it's actually probably a little bit bigger atomizer. And made by the same people that made the Hadley, and it doesn't leak as bad as the Hadley does. But anyway, man, these are great. Yep, the V2 is like 20 grams lighter. Man, that's all those coin miners, Jeremy, are messing up the video game, the video card pricing. Anyway, so that's my little blurb on squonkers. If you don't mind this format right here, man, that new G-Box is a heck of a deal. Obviously, I didn't beat on the new one for a year. I beat on the old one for a year. There are some differences in the chip. I think the temperature control on the G-Box 100 was... just call me Jerry Fear. The G-Box 100 was super accurate for temp control. The G-Box 200, the temp control works pretty good, but you're going to spend a good bit more time dialing it in, you know, for yourself. But it seems to work a lot better. This one I can get about 5 bottle fills out of 2 batteries, and I do 0.5 single wire 24 gauge builds spaced, and I run them at about I don't know, 26, 27, 28 watts. And 29 watts, 30 watts, whatever. Usually somewhere between 25 and 30. And I get 7 bottles out of this one, 5 bottles out of this one. And it might actually be a little bit more because I don't wait for the mod to turn off. I just wait until the battery indicators are all the way towards the end. I mean, not to protect batteries or anything silly like that, just because I don't want to be cut off in the middle of a hit. But anyway, the price range on the G boxes, I think they're somewhere between 60 and 80, depending on what site you go for. And even some of the US sites might even be over 80. I don't know. The China sites are like 60, 70, 80. And I got it on a group buy deal for like, I don't know, 40 something dollars. So it was a steal for me. I had a VT inbox for the most of a year. And man, I beat the crap out of that thing. But my toddler also beat the crap out of it. And it just didn't survive being thrown down the driveway, been thrown into a bathtub. I carried that VTM box in my shirt pocket. And when he was upset or excited, that's the first thing he grabbed and threw as hard as he could because he knows it makes me mad. So anyway, it didn't live the entire year, but I don't think it was its fault. What finally killed it, it actually still works, but the 510 leaks really bad. I had it on a ladder. I was up on a 12-foot ladder. It was on the top step, and I bumped the ladder, and it tipped off of the top and fell, and it did not live. And you know, for China squonks, they're great. I have not for nothing, I have some really nice squonkers. And you know what, man? These China squonks do just as good as these multiple $100 squonks. So, yeah, I think the G-Box is great. Anyway, that's enough of that. Something else for you pipe fans out there. I know one of you watching is, and one that we'll watch later is. I'm excited about this. This little guy. Let me try to get the top off the other one. Cthulhu Mods came out with this thing. And when I saw it, I thought, man, since all I do is squonk these days, I might actually get one of these and use my E-pipe some more. Fill this up with juice, screw that onto your 510, screw your bottom feeding atomizer on there, put a pipe stem in it, and squonky on any mod. So, I ordered them before Christmas from Cthulhu in China, and they just came in today. I hadn't even washed them or put them on a pipe yet, but I'm going to be trying those. I'm kind of excited about those. I got to admit, I'm a turbo nerd when it comes to crap like that. But we'll see. All right. So, let's try some juice. Let's get some batteries in something so we can try some juice. How's it work? It's just like a little tank under an atomizer, Russ. You just screw it onto the 510, and it's got that little window on the side. So, let me see. This is the silver one. I've already had this one all the way apart. They give you a like a Delrin cap. I don't know if that thing's focusing or not. But they give you a Delrin cap that screws onto the top. So you see it's got a regular 510. Let's wait for YouTube to catch up, and I'll see if yeah. So it's got a regular 510 pin on the bottom, and then you see on the top it's got a hollow pin in the 510 female, and that it's got O-rings on top, so the atomizer seals to it. You fill it through these little slots here at the top. Put your bottom feeding atomizer on, and then when you press this, it's got a silicone membrane in there. When you press that silicone membrane, it'll feed juice up into the atomizer. So it works, I mean, theoretically like any other squonk. I took it apart because I was kind of curious about the 510. I don't know how effective this is going to be because it doesn't look like the 510 pin is adjustable. And it's pretty much gonna have to seal against the top of that to work. So we'll see. Hopefully I have a bottom feeding atomizer that fits perfectly, or maybe I was just a complete idiot when I was looking at this and didn't catch if it was actually adjustable or not. Let's see. You know, I don't think it's spring loaded, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll try them this evening and get mad and throw them against the wall. Who knows? They were like $20-something directly from Cthulhu. Nobody was stocking them yet, and you could order direct from them. And I figured, where did I buy the Cthulhu? I bought it from Cthulhu Mods, their website in China. The little squonk thing for any mod, this dealio, JJ, I bought it from Cthulhu. All the distro sites have them now. I don't know how well it works. I hadn't read a review for them or anything like that, just because I had them ordered and I didn't want to be mad until they got here. So anyway, if they work, they work. If not, hey, such is life. I spent more on worse stuff. I got to burn this off, and we'll try the maple sticks first, the sticks mix version. All right. Kind of just wanted to see how much difference in these there are going to be. I know there's going to be a good bit, because while red burley is pretty accurate to a burley, specifically to that red burley, have a feeling aged burley from Sticks Mix going to be even more accurate because it is actual burley. And that's the thing about Flavora. Their mission statement is to provide an alternative without any use of tobacco. There are 0 tobacco products or byproducts in any of their offerings. And I had talked to one of the guys there a while back about the tobaccos and asked, you know, had they thought about doing nets, if they did have any net, you know, or any absolutes or anything in there. And he said that they had thought about it and talked about it for a while, but decided that just wasn't a direction they wanted to go. They wanted 0 tobacco in any of their offerings. So All right, so I'm going to try to do like Wayne did. The Sticks Mix version, one of the things about nets is they do have a pretty sweet edge to them already from the organic sugars, from the sugars in the leaf that come through in the extraction. This is good though. I think it could do with more maple. But it's a very tobacco forward, not real maple syrup by any means taste, but there's a good maple note in there. And we'll try the Flavora one. Now I'm going to have to pull these wicks to do Dave's because I can't imagine, well, how grape would mix with maple. That'd be pretty bad. All right, I had talked a while back about my infatuation with tobacco history and culture, and how in the grand scheme of things, for something that hadn't been around for very long at all, to have such a huge impact on societies around the world. I mean, realistically, the Native Americans, tobacco is only native to 2 different places in the world. It's native to North America, North and South America to some extent. And there's a couple of varietals that are from North America that have been taken elsewhere and morphed even more. And then there's a varietal that's native. See you, Russ. There's a varietal that is native to Australia, but interestingly enough, nobody there used it for anything. And when Columbus came over here, he took it back to Europe, and it just spread like wildfire. That was like 1490 something, I guess. And then by 1530 or something, there were tobacco shops in Spain and the rest of Europe. Yeah, add some more maple. I might, man. The thing is, I might have went a little heavy with the tobacco on sticks, but I don't like where, you know, like in regular tobaccos, you can use them low for a nuanced tobacco. With nets, when you use them too low, their natural sweet edge bleeds into the sweetness of VG, and they're just too watery to me. Other people may be different, but they both smell pretty mapley. And it may just be because I've got maple on my hands. Thanks, Graham, man. How you doing, brother? All right. And that's another thing I don't like about nets, man. Just one drip. Well, actually, I had tried one of the nets earlier today, too. So probably about 3 or 4 mils vaped through this. This had aged burley vaped through it earlier today. And, yeah, net skunked pretty bad. I mean, this is not scientific by any means. I should have had 2 clean atomizers, but I'm just too lazy, man. Me too, man. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do for 10. I was shooting again for 9:30, but he didn't even get quiet until. I mean, he's probably still not asleep. We had the 3-day weekend this weekend, and so our sleep schedules got messed up to begin with, and we had a ice day today. So daycare was closed, and he didn't get up till 11 o'clock today. And tomorrow is going to be real fun trying to get him into daycare if we don't have another ice day. I was really hoping for the snow. They had promised us I had batteries charged and the monster truck tires on my Slash 4x4 to go play in the snow, my remote control short course truck. See you, Steve Maddox. So, with the Flavora tobaccos, I'm getting the nutty edge of the red burley through with the maple, which is really kind of a nice addition. I don't know, one of my favorite candies in the world is Maple Nut Goodies, the old Brock's candies. I don't know who did them originally, but they're really good. Anyway, both of these are real good. The Sticks Mix version, definitely more authentic tobacco. The Flavora version is definitely tobacco, and if I hadn't vaped them side by side, I would tell you it was really authentic. And, you know, it's probably going to be to people that don't use nets, but the Sticks Mix version is definitely a more authentic tobacco. And both are very enjoyable. I think for the Flavora version, I'm with the way Flavoras change, it's gonna be better in 4 or 5 days because the tobacco's gonna die down. With the Sticks Mix version, the maple probably needs to go up because the nets are going to get a bit stronger over the next couple of weeks, more nuanced. The Flavora extracts are going to get a bit weaker over the next few weeks and a bit more nuanced. Anyway, I'll post both of these just like I did them later. I'll do some kind of name so that, you know, people will know that's not necessarily a refined recipe, but more like recipe ideas. And we'll yank these wicks out and get the maple out of the M-Addy with the JMK tip. I love this atomizer. It's my favorite dual coil atomizer ever. I know people do single coil stuff with them. There's single coil adapters and single coil bottom feeding pins and all that good stuff, and that's fine. If it's dual coil, I'd rather do dual coil. Single coil is what I usually rock these days, though. Let me do some palate cleansing fruit. Try to get the last bit of this maple stuff out of here. Pretty sure that's going to throw the ID10T grape cigarillo thingy off. The name of the bass I was telling you about, the one that I have, the one that I really like, the $600 bass that plays better than the $600 jazz bass that plays better than a $2,500 Fender Custom Shop jazz bass. That bass, it is a Sire, Marcus Miller Sire V7. Just the regular V7, not the V7 Classic. The V7 Classic it's basically the same. It's got the lower mass, more classic style Fenderish bridge, and the pickups are in the late 60s or early 70s position, whereas this is in a more modern jazz bass pickup location, which both are fine, but this one produces the tone that I want. I really want the M6, M5, M7. What is it? Anyway, I really want one that's like $900, but, you know, money and all that. So, and I have a couple of basses that work really well, so it's not like I'm making money with the basses. I don't need a better one. That's what I keep telling myself. I don't need a better bass. I do need more remote control cars, though, desperately. Somebody's probably going to have fits. I'm not tearing the outer edges of my Japanese cotton apart. I'm not doing anything special to it. I'm cutting strips off of it and sticking it in an atomizer and vaping it because it works. It's been working for several years. It works really, really good, and I don't care. And I'm really, really lazy. So, this is probably riveting for you folks to watch me stuff cotton in an atomizer. I should have been more prepared. Sorry about that. But I've had a toddler full time for the last 4 days. I'm lucky to be alive. Now, if this turns out to be terrible, Dave, I'm going to be mad that I put new wicks in for your recipe. I doubt that it will be terrible, though. You know, when we had to talk about the recipe of the year stuff, and we had to talk about our most mixed recipes that weren't our own, and ID10T's Mango Blossom Macaroon was one for me. I mean, it was my number one that wasn't mine. I vaped a ton of that stuff. I have 2 120s of it mixed up there. I almost always have at least 120 of it mixed up just because that's my jam. But also the Dent Man's sugar cookie ice cream. And I don't know what it is about that recipe because it's a sugar cookie with ice cream. I mean, it's really good. It's creamy. It's, you know, all that stuff. But you can get it in your mouth and it tastes just like the juice. And DJ Mills, man, his golden Oreo pudding, I vaped a ton of that. Which is weird because I'm not usually a really big cookie vape kind of guy. And I'm about to flip my lid. I have I was wondering, man. A spiced cola tobacco. You know what? I'm doing a spicier, doing a spicy root beer tobacco. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that recipe yet. But anyway, on those, like, stuff that, like, I mix a bunch of random stuff. And I make my own recipes, you know, my own tobaccos that I really like. That I can vape, you know, with anything I eat or drink. And then for me to mix, even over the last few years, mix or buy juice or whatever other people's stuff. That's, you know, that's saying, not that I'm any much better than anybody, but man, I have a ton of flavorings I like to play around, and stuff just doesn't usually catch my attention that long. I mean, even my own stuff cycles around. So anyway, those guys did really good jobs on those. Mr. Burgundy, I don't have that problem because I don't vape that much of it. I mean, I cycle through a bunch of them. I will get to that point with Mango Blossom Macaroon because, like, I wake up and I have a squonker with thanks, Shindo. I have a squonker with Cardinal in it, and that's what I wake up to every morning. And sometimes it goes with me during the day. And then I usually have a squonker full of Abuela or whatever tobacco mix I'm currently working on, or iterations that I moved on from. Like both of these that I just mixed in front of you guys that I just came up with on the show are really good. They're highly vapable. They taste really good. They've got maple notes in their tobaccos. I don't know that that's what I was aiming for or if I had a goal, but they are going to be changed. So, I mean, that's an iteration that gets left behind. But I'm going to vape those, you know, carry them around and fill up a squonk bottle or whatever. But if I vape Mango Blossom Macaron right after my Cardinal in the morning, that's all I'm going to vape all day long. I won't even take anything else with me. Just cause. But it just hit all the check boxes for me, man. It's a macaron, it's mango, and it's got honeysuckle in it, and I like all those things. So, all right, Dave. Thanks, Dent. Yeah, it's that's like a better version of Honey Perry. That juice, Honey Perry, was so easy to clone, but it's like good in Cleros, and it's good in Genesis atomizers, and it's good in a Rheomizer if you've got the stock Rheomizer hole in it. But once you go to putting wattage or airflow to it, Honey Perry is terrible, man, from the Vapor Chef. But that Honeysucker is my fixed version of that. All right, let's see here before I put power to that. So this is MixIT, FixIT, or NixIT with ID10T. And maybe next week, man, I'll play it when the show opens up, because I can just pipe it right into my audio box here. I've even got some pretty cool effects. I can do some weird crap. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that bass back there, that Ibanez, is not a bad bass. I mean, it's a cheap-ish bass. It's only like $400, and it plays good and sounds good. I like it because I can play it with just the neck pickup, and it's the P-bass pickup. Sounds really close to a P-bass. Jaybird, you like that one just because you're a strawberry mute like me? Now, Chef, I've been doing that, and I'm really trying to review more of them, because I'll vape it and then formulate a review in my head and just forget to go review it. I mean, in my defense, I got a pretty busy life and shit gets away from me, but we're all busy, so that's not really a defense. You know what? This is actually really good. Jaybird, have you mixed anything with Real Flavors Super Concentrate Strawberry? All right, so this is definitely let's see. I stole the base of this recipe from 25 Bucks by Concrete River. Swap the raspberry for the best grape for the job. Cut the burley back for less of a rich, nutty tobacco, and loaded it up with cured for a more generic little cigar flavor. If you're looking for something like a Swisher Sweet, this base will make a great start. Just swap the grape for a different fruit or other flavor of your choice and rebalance it as needed. And this is 0.5% FA Blackfire, 0.25% Flavor West Caramel Salted, 1.5% FLV Cured Tobacco, 3% LA Grape, and I used the colorless in there. I have both of them, and I get people don't like vaping food coloring, but the black as the black, dark purple, whatever original LA grape taste better than the colorless. I don't know. Maybe it's the food colorings. Maybe the food colorings make me think it tastes better. It tastes better. I did use colorless in this, though. And it's got 0.75% red barley and 1% Inawera Shisha Vanilla. That's weird. You know what? After I told you FA's new one was really good because I could taste it, I'd been vaping it for like 2 days. I can taste it for like 2 or 3 days, and then that's it. I won't be able to taste it for several weeks. So this is a definite MixIT. If you guys enjoy the lower tier flavored cigarillos, this definitely works, man. I'll probably vape all of this before I put it up. All right. Well, for not being able to do all of my research on the show that I wanted to do for tonight, I think we did all right. I had a good bit of fun, learned a little bit of something. I did talk about the history of tobaccos. I mean, so really when you think about it, we're like 500-ish years into actual widespread tobacco, and it's in every single culture. Some of the flip-flopping of tobacco marketing is kind of interesting. I don't know if y'all knew the Lucky Strike was originally developed as a woman's cigarette. The Marlboro was originally developed as a woman's cigarette, thus the color of the filter. It hid the lipstick better, and it was advertised as smooth and mild enough for a woman. World War I kind of bumped up the tobacco, ramped up the tobacco popularity and culture. World War II did just like exponentially more, because all of the big tobacco manufacturers around the world were giving free cigarettes to include in C rations. Yeah, Lucky Strike hit it off during the war. But all of the big manufacturers were giving cigarettes out to be for free to be included in C rations in World War II. And so you had all these Europeans coming home and all these Americans coming home, and they've had all these free cigarettes, and there's just, I mean, lifetime customers there. Some other interesting things. RJR used to do tobaccos cheap, roll your own tobaccos. People called them Run Johnny Run, but it was R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company. It's the same company from Reynolds Wrap Aluminum. Some of the other tobacco companies, I can't remember which one, Lorillard or American, owns like Kraft and Nabisco and all these other companies. I mean, Ben & Jerry's did a big thing a while back where they were boycotting and removed Oreos from all of their ice creams because the tobacco companies bought the food companies out, and they didn't want to do business with a company that was killing people. I mean, not like ice cream kills people too, but not at the rate that tobacco does, of course. But just the whole culture of tobacco interests me, and I was a tobacco snob. I mean, pipes and cigars and all that stuff when I smoked. So anyway, so there's a little history. Y'all asked for it last week, and we'll do some more, like the different varietals and stuff, and the characteristics and different uses for the different varietals of actual tobaccos and how to apply those to mixing. Because I think with the, with your tobacco mixes, if you do profiles and whatnot that are historically already there, it they'll they'll go over better, with yourself and other people. And not that you can't do anything new. Tobacco blenders are still to this day knocking out new and unique blends, and it's just different percentages of the same tobaccos that they've been using for 300-400 years. I mean, the technology for tobacco has grown at a pace that of course it's slowed down and halted now, but it started off at the pace like e-cigarettes are now. The way people mix and the way people steep and the way people market and everything just kind of models the whole tobacco culture. And it's not big tobacco, and they're not marketing to kids. They're not, giving soldiers at war freebies. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble too much, and my root beer is almost gone. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will hopefully get OBS figured out enough by next week to put the chat on the sidebar there. And see you guys next time. Peace.